Thank you all so much. Did you guys enjoy that? Yeah. I was thinking about when she said that her mom taught her to be brave, and I was thinking that for me, my children taught me to be brave. You know? I feel like I sang that song to my mom, and my kids sang that song to me. You know, like, it's okay. Be yourself. You know? Anyway, I love it, and I love that expression of support and authenticity. So I want to ask you guys a question. Did you know that the first Greek god was actually a goddess? Yeah. Did you know that? What's her name? Gaia. Thank you, Mom. That's what you get for going over your talks with your mom ahead of time. Aren't I lucky that she gets to be here? Yes. So yes, Gaia. Gaia is the first goddess. She was created out of the primordial energy of chaos. And from her, all life came forth. And back to her, all life returns. And we know her today as Mother Earth, or Mother Nature. David Osborne, in this really amazing article on parental mythology and Greek gods, he says that Gaia, Mother Nature, she is the symbol of the ecosystem, of our planetary action, that she is the nature, the energy source that creates balance for all that is her life, which is us and everything that it lives. And she's always striving to create balance and nourishment and nurture. And I believe that is the essence of the divine female. That is the essence of the divine mother. And I know that energy and essence it's in each and every one of us. There is a healing energy, a healing resonance within us that supports us. It's the yin to the yang in healing. It is the feminine healing aspect of life. And it is that quality that is living at the very center, the very essence of who we are. We are Father Universe and Mother Earth created into one. We are only one powerful energy that has many facets. And one of those is the Divine Mother, the Divine Mother Nature. And so this morning, in support of this idea and in support of this inspiration, I've invited 3 people to come up here and share with you. And my goodness, if you see the tissues out this time, you're lucky, because we forgot to put them out last time. There was like mascara everywhere. So feel blessed and know that I have asked a child, a mother, and a grandmother to share, and the topic is healing the heart of humanity. And the child's not really a child, he's a teenager. And still a child to me. Where am I? His name is Elliot Unverzat. And we have Leslie Peters, and we have Leona Rustin. And they will be sharing with you their experience, their thoughts, and their hearts. So I invite us to hold the sacred space with an open heart and an open mind for their energy to come forth. Elliot?
Good morning. So I wrote a letter to my mom, Amanda, and this is how it goes. I'm writing a letter to my mom, and this is how it goes. Dear Mom, Right now I'm reading on stage, and you're probably ready for some speech about how much I love you.
This is Amanda, everyone. Raise your hand. The mom.
But the problem is, a speech can't convey how much I love you. 5 minutes isn't enough. But I will start out by saying thank you, just for all that you do. Dinner, laundry, cleaning, the whole deal. And that makes me so happy that you do that you're there for us. And you do it without even thinking about it. You do it without thinking about yourself. You just do it for us. It makes me happy that you're there to love me and you're there to listen to me when other people don't. And I know that it makes everyone else in our household happy. That's 5 other people. So that's 6 people you make happy just by being there, just by waking up in the morning. And when I wake up in the morning and I hear you say, "Good morning," and you give me a hug, I just feel good. So in making one person happy when I go to school after that, and I'm nice to other people, it's because you were nice to me. And in making one person happy by simply saying good morning and giving them a hug, you make 2 people happy. Then you make 3 people happy because everyone goes out and they feed off each other's emotions. So you're single-handedly healing people, and you don't even know it. You don't even know how good you are at it. You make Emmett happy when you let him hang out with his friends or when you do anything you can for him. And then when he goes and he does whatever he does and he makes other people happy and laugh, it's because you were there to make him happy. It's because you were there to make him feel that way. And when you get Easton his wild costumes and you send him to school in a Phyllis Wheatley costume and he makes everyone laugh because he's dressed as Phyllis Wheatley, it's because you were there to give him the option to make him feel happy. You were there to give him the ability to let him make others laugh. And it all started with you saying good morning and giving us a hug. And there are some days where I wake up and I just want to be mean and I just want to feel bad. But when I wake up and I see you and you give me a hug, I can't help but feel better. You're so divine and caring it reaches people you don't even know. You're single-handedly mending others and you can't even realize how you're doing it. You do such a good job at making everyone else happy too. I hope you're happy because you make everyone else happy, but you're responsible just for everyone's happiness. Everyone you meet, you're responsible for their happiness. You brighten their day. You brighten my day. And you're so divine and caring, it's hard to put it into words. Thank you. It kind of reminds me like Sing, the pig, the mom. She has like 50 kids and she makes the assembly line. And she gets all the kids their lunch in the morning, all the school, and tells them good morning. It's kind of like that. Only you do it better because you're a person and you're good at it and we love you. And I know without you, I wouldn't be able to stand here today and talk in front of everyone and tell you how amazing you are, or even come to this amazing church. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, from the essence of my being, I love you, Mom.
Got me. I brought a prop this time. I'm a mother of 4. My name is Leslie, if I haven't met you. And if I spontaneously fall down, I'm not dead, I'm tired. So I'm going to tell you a story. When I was 14, I competed in and won my first and only pageant. There was a speech portion of the competition, and I worked for months on the speech. I've always been a little bit of a perfectionist. It's a struggle I'm working on. And practicing the speech over and over again was my way of combating the nerves of speaking in public. So when Nicole asked if I would talk for a few minutes up here, I was nervous at first, and then I was excited because I remembered that I had a little princess tiara in my closet that validated my public speaking. So as long as I had time to prepare, everything would be cool. So in my vision of how it would unfold, I would set aside some time. I would absorb inspiration throughout the week. I would read what others had to say about the topic. make some notes here and there, and then this morning I would meditate, I would caffeinate, and I would let her rip. Throughout the week, I sat down a few times to start writing, but every time I did, I didn't get very far because someone or something at home needed my attention. Either my little 3-month-old baby needed a diaper change, or she wanted to be on my lap instead of my laptop. One of the 3 older kids needed help with homework, or a snack, or some affection, or for me to act as referee and to settle the score once and for all who the baby loves most. As this happened more and more, Thursday became Friday. I began to get a little anxious about when I would have time to prepare something. I didn't want to use a paper. After I got anxious, I began to get frustrated. There were dishes and laundry and the endless circle to and from baseball practice. It wasn't unlike any other week, but this week I had created a deadline and I was having trouble meeting it. I also had traded my morning meditation for extra sleep because my 3-month-old likes to party hard from 2 to 4 a.m. I thought maybe a fix would be to dictate thoughts into my phone while I was carpooling, but show of hands, has anyone been in the car with a crying baby? All right, so you know where this is going. It was now Saturday. I was nowhere near knowing what I wanted to say, and in my head, I was failing. I was failing at scheduling, failing at motherhood, failing at the topic for today, which is healing the heart of humanity. I was creating moments of mental distress that were doing the opposite of healing. As I continued stressing, I saw that this stress, if it hadn't already, had the potential to create chaos in my home and to mess with my children's sense of peace. My own sense of peace appeared to be long gone, which also stressed me out because shouldn't I know better by now? I eventually caught myself because this isn't my first child or mental rodeo. I pulled out my toolkit and I remembered what I know that I know. I closed my eyes and I visualized one of the greatest and most profound spiritual guides of our time, Denise, as Southwest flight attendant. With a sincere smile, perfect red lipstick, and her little heart with the wings, she looked at me dead in the face and told me sincerely and seriously what I needed to do. Please put on your oxygen mask before you try to help your children. They insist on telling us this every time because we forget. I took a deep breath in, and then I took a shower. And then I drank a glass of water. And after that, I started over. I gave up all expectations of myself, released the idea of perfection, and instead asked to be a vessel. A vessel may have to cram the night before and use a cheat sheet, but I took care of myself. I realized that this small step is the beginning of how I can help heal the heart of humanity. How, you ask? I need to breathe first in order to be oxygenated for my family. I need rest. I need to know who I am so that they can remember who they are. I cannot heal my children if I cannot first heal myself. I cannot have compassion for others if I do not have compassion for myself. I cannot stop wars outside if there are wars within. And most importantly, I cannot show my children that the baby loves them both equally if I leave both children at the baseball field. It's tempting. I can know that I am good enough, and I can show them that they are good enough. I can trade my princess tiara for a divine mother's crown. My daughter actually gave this to me right before the service. She must have known what we were talking about, so I'm going to put on my prop. A mother has a unique opportunity to show her children peace, to be the kind and just queen that reflects her children's cosmic royalty because she never forgets her own. It's much easier to remember this when I'm not stressing over reaching for the princess-like perfection, but rather enjoying the perfection of right now. I'm going to read an excerpt now. My favorite girl, Marianne Williamson. This is from A Woman's Worth. It's a great book if you haven't read it, not just for women. Here it goes. So, I once saw a funny birthday card. On the front it read, "Happy birthday to my daughter, the princess, from your mother, the queen." What is a princess and what is a queen? A princess is a girl who knows that she will get there, who is on her way perhaps, but is not there yet. She has power, but she does not wield it responsibly. She's indulgent and frivolous. She cries out, but they are not yet noble tears. She stomps her feet and does not know how to contain her pain or use it creatively. A queen is wise. She has earned her serenity, not having it bestowed on her, but having passed her tests. She has suffered and grown more beautiful because of it. She's proved that she can hold her kingdom together. She has become its vision. She cares deeply about something bigger than herself, and she rules with authentic power. Our kingdom is our life, and our life is our kingdom. We are all meant to rule from a glorious place, and when God is on the throne, then so are we. When God is in exile, our lands are at war and our kingdoms are at chaos. The growth of a girl into a woman, a princess into a queen, is not a liberal transition. Like any true creative flow, it is radical. That's not to say it's angry or harsh, but it's radical, the way truth is radical, and birth and art and real love and death. It changes things. It represents a shift in core beliefs, a belly up of dominant paradigms. Without the shift, a woman seesaws between the brink of disaster and the brink of salvation. She goes from moments to bliss to moments of terror. And then the children and the world begin to seesaw with her. When a woman has owned her passionate nature, allowing love to flood her heart, her thoughts grow wild and fierce and beautiful. And here all things are transformed. There is a purpose to this, that the world might be mothered back to a great and glorious state. When a woman conceives her true self, a miracle occurs and life around her begins again. Mary's was a virgin birth, and the word virgin means a woman unto herself. The actualized woman is powerful unto herself and gives birth to things divine. Today, we have the chance to give birth to a healed and transformed world. So whatever today means to you, whether you're a mother, you have a mother, you've lost your mother, you wish you could lose your mother. That's not personal for me. I encourage you, she knows me. I encourage you to look to the archetypal queen within, and that's regardless of if you're a man, woman, however you identify. The gentle, compassionate, nurturing feminine is inside each of us. We need to feed her so that she can show up and heal the heart of humanity. I hope today you put on your crown, and if you get hangry, make yourself a snack, and know that the baby loves you all equally. Thank you.
Leslie's funny.
Oh, good morning. So good to see you all. And happy Mother's Day. When Nicole invited me to speak today from a grandmother's perspective, I was so excited and honored that I had been invited. And I said, yes, yes. I was scheduled in the junior church to help out there, but I still said yes. And then we worked out the details. I just truly loved my mother deeply, and I'm wearing her grandmother pendant this morning that has been handed down to me. And I just really cherish motherhood in that whole role. It's quite magical and mystical and sacred. Oh, and I used to, for 21 years, I was a cake decorator. And I loved to write on cake. So I loved when I had the opportunity to write the word mother. So I'm going to write in space the word mother because I love it. So there's the big M, and then there's O, T, H, E, R, and then you wind it up with the beautiful scroll over the T and the H, and it's just a gorgeous word. I just love seeing the word mother. So now I'm going to read what I thought about when it was like, oh, I've got to say something. So this is what I've written down and my thoughts on this day. So in my mother's generation, a family was on the farm. Our family was on the farm, and women were expected to bear children and not even skipping a beat to get back into their household duties of tending to the family garden, to sewing the children's clothes and washing up all those clothes, and then ironing them. Can you imagine? And then on top of that, they were supposed to be making 3 meals and serving 3 meals to the big families we had back in the day. And then they even went outside and fed the pigs and the chickens. It's like unimaginable, the kind of history we come from. And then my generation of women was starting to attend college and to pursue secretarial and office jobs. But it was still a male-driven world, at least in my family. And us girls, there was 3 girls and 2 boys. Us girls were expected to marry right out of high school to our high school sweethearts and live happily ever after. Well, both of my older sisters married at 18, but then I wasn't going for it. So, so at 28, my parents were really concerned, and they thought I might wind up an old maid, which was very frowned upon in those days. But finally, at 29, I found somebody that was in my wavelength, and we got married. And so we had one child, and this is her. Her name's Falana, and it means lover of humanity, and it's just brought me so much joy for me to be her mother. And then she gave me 2 grandchildren. So one of them, his name is Ariel, he's 5, and then my granddaughter is only 4 months, and her name is Olivia. So my role as a grandmother has been a real joy, and it's been a real joy to witness the growth of my daughter and my son-in-law as they work out the best they can with raising 2 children in a South American country, in Peru, which is actually a hard place to live. And so the job of parenting with all of the, well, you know, there's so many things to do, managing finances and getting the kids off to school and organizing meals and all of that stuff. Who would trade off a retired life for that kind of work? So raising a family, I think, is one of life's greatest challenges and greatest privileges, as well as one of life's greatest joys. And thank God that I found this spiritual home about 10 years ago before I became a grandmother, because I have learned so many great life lessons about being a grandmother since I lived here. I mean, since I've been at this spiritual home, and I finally woke up. So here what I've learned was how to step out of my individual experience and how to see the divine in all people and all things and in all circumstances. So now, instead of whining and choosing to suffer over the fact that my daughter lives 4,200 miles from me, and I only see them about once a year, really, I choose to honor the fact that they are living their life's dream, and I get to embrace that fact, and I too can ride on their wings and go along for the adventure. They have been my greatest teachers. And my grandchildren are the icing on the cake. I plan and look forward to spoiling them when I get to meet them in the flesh once a year. And other than that, I get to be creative by keeping our relationship closer as we play on Facebook and WhatsApp visits. And also, we started doing the letters and the photographs and the storytelling through snail mail. And not to mention, in the mornings when I get up, I really feel them close to me, so I give them kisses and hugs and tickles through the ether. And they really do bring out the kid in me, and I really like to play. And I really enjoy being silly. And they really inspire me to be more spontaneous and freely express myself. And that's really, really refreshing. So from afar, I get to be their loudest cheerleader, supporting their blooming creativity, modeling patience, kindness, silliness, and what is simply and to show them what it simply means to be a grandparent, because I am the only surviving grandparent in their lives. So that's quite special. So a grandmother's love is the love of the divine. And I love how I am now able to see my family dynamic and know that it is all in divine right order, and to offer a different perspective to them, one of faith and wisdom when their challenges arise and they want to talk about it. So I am so grateful for my life, so grateful for my family, and so grateful for the privilege and honor of being a mother and a grandmother. Life is good. And as Ernest Holmes said, and surely that which had the intelligence to create has both the will and the ability to sustain. Thank you and happy Mother's Day.
Aren't they beautiful and amazing? These are our people. These are our congregants. This is our spiritual family. It's so exciting. And isn't it wonderful to remember that it doesn't matter if we're male or female, ever had kids or not, whomever we are, wherever we are, that we all have that nurturing, that nourishment of that divine goddess within us. And it is ours to embrace it. And I feel like sometimes that's about taking self-care. I feel like Mother Nature, it represents as self-care. So when we care for ourselves, when we take a moment to take a deep breath, when we take a moment to take a shower and not open the door for the kids who are banging on it, or the dog, when we take time to be by ourselves for a moment. One of the greatest things in my life is that I have an electric car, so every day or two, I'm forced to sit for a half an hour while my car charges. And that gets to be my time to just be. So this week, this lifetime, let's just find time to be. Because in the being is the restoration of the wholeness of our spirit. And so it is.